everyone. We are Girls Guts Glory. Thanks so much for tuning in. Shout out to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this season. We love you guys. Thanks for having us be a part of the D&D family. Also, thanks to Johannes Plenio at cool3pix.com for some of our awesome background images. So I'm going to go around and have everyone introduce the characters and class and race. So Erika, why don't you start?
Hi, I'm Erika Fermina. I am playing Leaf, your Goblin Druid.
I'm Kimberly Daugherty, and I am playing Daisy Gamwich, and I'm a human artificer. Alice?
My name is Alice Greczyn, and I'm playing Velara Nailo, and I am a Centaur bard.
Allie?
I'm Allie Gonino, and I'm playing Alyssum Teaudreyes, an Eladrin sorceress.
Kelen?
I'm Kelen Coleman, and I am playing Rufus Rippard. He's your rock gnome wizard.
And now to our awesome DM, Rachel Seeley.
Hello, I'm your human DM, Rachel Seeley. Welcome in. Okay, who took good notes yesterday? Who thinks that they can gain the advantage? Ooh, all right, Allie, go for it. Give us our recap.
All right, I'll try to trim this down because I took a lot of notes.
Good. Ooh, I'm proud.
Advantage. So we left the campsite in the Plains of Penitence, and we traveled to the Temple of Seert. And once we got there, we met a little boy named Malcolm. He was a little young orc boy, and he was going to take us into the temple, but then ended up turning us into little toys. And we woke up in what was presumed to be his playroom. And we woke up with all these other toys, and we ended up like talking to all the other toys and letting them know that, oh, we weren't there for a very long time, like we need to leave. And we ended up getting tested. And the test was to, essentially, we took it upon ourselves to bring together a ballerina toy that was in like a little music box, and the love of her life, who was a toy soldier. And Velara persuaded the ballerina with amazing prose and inspiration to be a free woman and take her love, and so she did, and it kind of broke the spell on our curse, so to speak. And so we returned to our normal bodies back into the Temple of Seert. And then we went into the Temple of Seert. We met a little woman who gave us a little riddle. We answered the riddle, and then we went into the circular room where the Seert was, and he was basically judging the souls that were in the sky. He was plucking out stars from the sky and judging them. But before we went into the temple, Velara and Alyssum planted a root outside that we were given by Neve, and that ended up being a really bad situation, because then the root took over the entire temple and gave this power to what we thought was an elder in the temple, who ended up actually just being like this witch. And so the temple was destroyed. We took the now almost unconscious Seert back to the Plains of Penitence, back to the Bureau, and found Deppin, and now we are trying to heal Levon, who was the Seert in the temple. And I think that's where we left. Oh,
That was excellent.
And we're also all dead right now. We're in the afterlife at the moment.
We're all extra
What's
credit.
your extra credit?
Our toys were, Alyssum was a mermaid, and Velara was a toy horse. I was a knight. Leaf was a teddy bear, and what's her name? Cindy. What's her name? Daisy. Cindy Daisy
Cindy.
was a baby doll with like characters. Okay, that was just
Yes.
for me.
Perfect. All right, Kelen, for that, you can add +1 to one roll. in this game.
Yeah,
One.
+1.
Allie, you get advantage on one roll. That was fantastic. That was a perfect recap. Nicely done. Those are good notes. I'm so proud. Okay.
And for those who don't know, we're in the afterlife right now, and our names are in a mysterious book, and we're trying to figure out why.
We
And
lost our memories.
so
Lots
that's
of mysteries here. Who knows?
So
When we left off, I think it was decided that you were going to stay by Levon's side and try and help him, or at least Alyssum was.
Mhm.
I love that. So you're in this wing that's pretty uninhabited. There's some medical officers that come and go. They're not really needed in the afterlife. They're kind of excited to have something to do, but also this is momentous. Some people, pilgrims, find their way into the wing every once in a while, and you have to shoo them away because they just want to see Levon. They want to see this man that had the title of Seert, someone who judged souls. It's very prestigious, and it's a very somber title. He does not wake for a while, and in fact, a couple of days pass. You get a little bit more comfortable in the wing. You end up getting your own rooms. They were old offices. They get changed a little bit. Depp manages to use a little bit of whatever power he has to get some cots or beds pulled upstairs to the floor where you're at. And nothing happens. It's pretty quiet. You get to know the people in town a little bit better. There's not really a currency system here, and there isn't really a place to get food because you don't need it. The tavern on the other side of the river, the more expensive one, does have some food, but it's mostly for pleasure because you can still taste it, but you don't need sustenance here. You're dead. You wouldn't need it. And in the market, the longer you stay here and the more time you spend out and about and figuring out what this city is about, you realize a lot of what people do here is trade to have new items. It's oddly materialistic. People enjoy when new people arrive because it becomes a giant swap meet. People bring the items that they don't want, trade for other items, and come away with something new. Things are always shifting here. People like it when new things arrive. So people are loving that Levon is in town. It's been about 3 days. You're at the very tail end of the third day when finally you hear from Sir Joven, and it's been a while. He hasn't spoken to you or left his office in those 3 days. And you hear this soft music coming from your compact, and over the course of the last couple of days, Deppen has figured out how to work the compact, so instead of like yelling at it or hearing this muffled voice, you now hear this soft music, kind of like a ringtone that tells you when someone is waiting at the scrying glass to talk to you. Who has the scrying glass in their hand? Daisy. You open up the scrying glass. You're used to seeing Deppen's sweet little face in there with his glasses, looking very nervous as always. But instead, this time, it's Joven himself. He looks much worse than before. Very worn, very tired. And he is wiping sweat off of his brow. And he says, I'm so sorry for taking so long. If you would please come to my office. I have something I must discuss with all of you. And he closes the compact.
I just got a message from Sir Joven. He wants us to come to his office right away. Apparently, there's something he wants to speak to us about.
It might have something to do with the giant root that we planted outside of the temple.
Guess it's possible. Neve. The evil Neve.
I've been filing my hooves in the corner. And I set down my file, like, yes, let's get that bitch.
Did we not go to the library to research the Battle of Colm Hill?
You can in the meantime, absolutely. There is a library, and Deppen had taken you to it.
What did we learn? Anything?
You didn't learn much. It was a battle. I mean, there's nothing that sticks out particularly. It sounds like every other battle that you kind of learned about in school.
Not important to the soldier and ballerina. Not related.
I mean, it was talked about that there were two opposing forces. Some books, you don't know how to verify this, but some books say that it was like a demonic and angelic army that were fighting. And that there was essentially a Romeo and Juliet love story in the middle of the battlefield, that the warlord on the angelic side of the field had been in love with a tiefling woman on the demonic side.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask. So the couple that I was seeing in my Toy Story vision moment, that is the Battle of Calm. That is like the human man and the female tiefling that I saw. Also,
as far as you can tell.
Dumb question, probably. Is there a race description for the offspring of human tiefling combinations? A humeling?
A humeling? No, there actually isn't.
Okay.
I think in official D&D lore, the child either takes on the features of one or the other.
Okay.
Oh. Would there be of any record in history books of if they procreated?
No records. In fact, there are no records of them after the battle. There's not even a lot of talk about who they are. There aren't any names.
But it's definitely not Levon. Like, he doesn't look like that same guy.
No. Okay. Levon has very dark skin, and the man that you saw in your vision was white.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's go to the office then. I say we have the knowledge. This man looks really, really bad. No other way to say it.
All right, shall we then? Shall we go?
Should I stay here?
Miss Calliope, come on.
Should I be here with Levon or?
You want to stay with him?
With Levon?
What's that?
Are you saying you're already with Levon?
Oh, I thought we were all together with him.
You're all in the medical wing.
Yeah.
There were separate offices that got turned into your temporary apartments, essentially.
Maybe I'll just stay here until you guys come back.
All right, that's fine.
I think someone should stay with him. So
maybe I will leave Calliope with you, and if you need us, just send her, and she'll come to us.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Is Calliope a little bird? I forgot what she looks like.
Yes, Calliope. She's a little mechanical hummingbird.
Hummingbird, that's right. Because I know you have the big thing you call a hippopotamus.
Yeah, my hippopotamus. That's
right.
Artemis. And then I have Calliope, my hummingbird.
Does
She's
Calliope actually hum?
I'm sorry?
Does Calliope actually hum?
No, the reason that they're called hummingbirds is because you can kind of hear a little hum because of how quickly they flap their wings. Did you know hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly both forwards and backwards?
There's something, I think that's a misnomer. I think Calliope is more of a motor bird.
Yes.
A motor bird. Well, she's designed after a hummingbird.
It probably sounds like, you know what I mean?
Oh no, her wings are quite fast.
Well-oiled, shall you say?
Well-oiled, yes. All right, shall we? Calliope, you stay here. If she tells you to find me, we will be in whose office? Joven. So Joven's office.
Okay. Calliope looks at you, and you can tell she's taking in everything you're saying, and she flits off and goes and sits on Alyssum's shoulder.
That's a good girl. All right, let's go.
All right. Alyssum, you stay there in the medical wing. The rest of the party heads up through the elevator. You've become pretty well acquainted with the building at this point. There are obviously floors that you're not allowed to go in. And you've been able to go into the library. You smartly did not go in that door that was chained up, that you were told not to go into. You head back up to the floor where Sir Joven's office is. And the door is already open. You come through that elevator in the center of the floor into that circular room. You head into his office. The windows are all showing different scenes again. One is a field of flowers, one is a forest, one is a tundra, just a blanket of snow. And standing in the office is Sir Joven at one of the windows, but he's accompanied by the figure of a woman. And as you get inside, she turns around and stares all of you down. She has a very severe face. She's around Joven's age, older. Her white hair is cut, sharp bob. And the way she holds herself is kind of like a schoolmaster. There's an air of authority to her.
I hate her already.
So Joven again points to the chairs that he's pulled around and the fainting couch and anywhere you can sit in them. And he stays by the window, and the woman steps forward. Which one of you planted the root?
Insight check on her first.
Okay, go ahead.
Not great, but I'm trying. It's just an 8.
You get that she has a sense of authority. Yeah, you don't get too much beyond your initial feeling.
I will take responsibility for planting the root.
She looks you up and down appraisingly.
Oh, I'm looking her up and down.
This standoff is happening.
What is she? Could you describe her a little more?
So she has pointed ears. She's some kind of high elf. She looks like she had a softness and a beauty in young age that was lost to time and experience. She's been hardened by something in her life. She's wearing long dark blue robes that have some like patchwork symbols in them. Silver embroidery all along the bottom, long sleeves, high neck, very constricting.
Very Cersei Lannister season 8.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That kind of vibe.
Okay.
Yeah. And she looks you over and she says, "Tell me about this woman."
Well, her name is Neve. She was very beautiful. She was very bewitching. She wanted me to plant this root. She gave me herb of mugwort. She said they would help me get to the land of the living again. I was utterly and completely charmed by her.
Yes, I can see that. Do you know what a hag is?
Yes, I am familiar with hags.
Then you should have seen one coming.
Yes.
Here in
Did you say
the
hag?
Yes,
Sorry.
I did say hag.
You as a person, me, Kelen, just a hag.
Oh, yes. Kelen, yeah, hag.
Hag. Okay, like an old
Hag.
woman. Okay, got you.
Yeah. In the Plains of Penitence, there are many things that are native to this area. One being a particularly ruthless band of hags. What you met is their leader, Neve.
Beater?
Leader. Since you were the ones responsible for the destruction of Seer's temple, I am tasking you with a little destruction of your own. I assume that you will want to pay her back.
Gladly.
Good. Out in the Plains of Penitence, there is a place where this group of hags harvest souls. They are not theirs to take. This is how they eat. This is how they get their sustenance. It's a disgusting process. But with Neve leaving her conclave, we now know where it is, and it's without a little bit of protection. But looking at the four of you you won't be able to take on the whole bunch of them. Lucky for you, one of my spies has a lead on where one of them is staying on her own.
Leaf's gonna pop out and be like, there's 5 of us.
Is one of you invisible?
Are
She's
you
up with the
talking
cake.
about?
Oh yeah. No, sorry. She's not here.
We have an
He's talking about his frog.
Yeah.
No, we have
But also
Alyssum.
Alyssum is in the wing.
Yeah,
She's just not
looking
here with
into it.
us, but there are 5 of us. 6 if you want to count
Regardless.
Sebastian.
Regardless. There are only 5 of you.
I really
And
don't like that she's talking to Leaf now.
I doubt that, regardless of your number, you will be able to take on a conclave of hags on your own. You do not seem like the type.
Darling, who can take on a conclave of hags? You know, been there, done that. I feel like it's really hard to do. When you said hag, you meant
Make a
it.
perception check for me.
Do a what?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Oh gosh, I really have to organize my area. 9.
No, you don't
Not
catch
feeling
it.
very perceptive today.
Okay. She turns and looks at sorry?
We will go to get the one hag.
She glances over at Joven and holds out a hand, and he passes her what looks like a little scroll. She goes and places it on the desk, unfolds it, and sets it down with some paperweights. And on it, you see a little map. And it's crudely drawn very, very quickly. It looks like whoever was drawing it had to get it out in a hurry and get it to where it needed to go. And she says, there is one on her own. We don't know why she's on her own. Unfortunately, my spies were not able to tell me. But it may be a good chance to get some information or enact whatever revenge she would like to attempt. It's a good start, whatever it is. And as you were the ones who destroyed the temple, I feel it is at least poetic justice that you help us with this.
I do like poetry.
As do I. She turns back around, and Joven looks apprehensively over at her, where she's staring at the wall of tundra, that window that's showing just a scene of snow. And he comes over, and he motions you all over to the desk to look at the map. And he points out where the city is, where some of the landmarks are, because there's not street signs or anything. You have to go off of, here's this giant rock that looks like an eagle, or there's 17 trees in a circle on the left side of the road. But he rolls it back up, gives it to you. He's put his own notes on it to give you a better sense of direction. And he crosses his arms behind his back and smiles and says, if you need anything else, please, I am only a call away.
So we are to go to the solo hag in the tundra. And what's
No,
your name, Miss?
not the tundra. You're just going into the Plains of Penitence.
Oh. And what's the woman's name?
Did you catch a name?
I didn't.
No. Do we know?
Are you asking Joven?
No, I'm asking her. I said, sorry, my internet connection's really bad today.
Oh no.
Miss,
Okay.
what is your name?
She does not respond.
Do you know what the hag's name is, or what she looks like, or you know where she lived? Like, we have a map, but like where we're going, what area is it?
Are you talking to Joven now, or?
I'm talking to Joven. I feel like
Okay.
man to man, we can really, you know, get a good conversation going.
Joven says, well, the map will take you to where she has hidden herself. We don't know her name. We don't know too much. Our spy was not able to get us too much information, but we do know that she's on her own for some reason. She's been cast out of her conclave. So Now is as good a time as any to take one out.
So we're supposed to go and take her out, you know, like, take her out.
Well, we're leaving that up to you.
Right.
Are we trying to get
Right.
any information from her? Is there any purpose for keeping her, well, alive?
It would perhaps be beneficial to hear why she has left the Conclave, or what is happening there now that Neve is gone, if there's a new hag that has taken up leadership. But again, we leave it up to you. We would prefer information, but I also understand if you would like your revenge.
I'm
Maybe.
not big on killing, but that's me. So, I mean, we could figure
Not
something
big
else
on
out.
killing either. I just sometimes, if you're put in a situation that's quite dangerous, sometimes
People need to die so that others can live.
Yeah, right, yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a lot. Have you ever been to a goblin village? It's not pleasant.
I don't remember.
There's a lot of that happening with the fighting and the killing or be killed, or it's not nice. Anyway, I don't like that woman.
I think it's time we go.
If I can say, I feel like an old hag, if you know what I mean.
You're
Crap.
saying this in front of Joven.
Joven, but not the other one, not the lady. Sorry.
He gets this
Joven.
like semi-amused look on his face, but then he shakes it off and goes,
Yeah.
"It's best
Hope
if
she's
you
not your wife. That would be a real tough one, wouldn't it? Tough
No.
nut to crack.
No,
All
all right.
go.
Okay, I'll see you later."
Thanks, man.
I bring up the rear, and right before I leave the room, I let out a nice loud horse fart.
And do you wave it with your tail?
I do. I part my tail to the side and let it out.
Oh, poor Joven. You're stinking up his office.
It's poor company. It's not my fault.
All right, and on that note, are you heading back down to the wing?
Yeah.
I think
Right.
we should get Alyssum to join us.
Okay. Alyssum, back down in the medical wing. What are you currently doing?
I've found a book. Levon is just sleeping. I rubbed some clary sage salve into his temples and just kind of did some chanting over him to send him into like a deep healing sleep. And I found a book on one of the shelves in the room, and I'm just reading.
Okay.
If I can get any information about anything.
Sure. What you get are just snippets of, especially in the medical wing, the books that you would have down here are all medically based. And fascinating enough, they span centuries. It's as if they've taken every book ever written that they could get their hands on and filled the shelves down here with any kind of medical knowledge they could find. So the one you're looking at is particularly old. A brown canvas bound book that looks like it's falling apart. It didn't have any kind of description on the spine. You think that the gold leaf that had been on the title has been worn away with time. It's frayed. It is actually, let me see if this is the book you get. Okay. It's actually a book on protection spells. And one that is particularly useful for people who are attempting to astrally project.
Ooh.
Yeah. There is a reason that those in the medical practice would want to do that, because they can attempt with a specific kind of specialty to communicate with someone who is like in a coma or otherwise incapacitated. using this astral projection. And as you're flipping through, one of the spells, in fact, uses mugwort. You take the stems and you tie them together in a crown, and you wear the crown, and it protects your body and your astral projection of
Like
yourself.
your journey. It protects you on your journey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it also helps to strengthen the bond between your soul, or whatever is astral projected, and your body, so that it's easier for you to come back.
Okay.
One of the things that it talks about is that if you don't have sufficient protection, or if you stay too long away from your body, the connection gets weaker and weaker, and some people, in fact, lose the connection to their body, and they never come back.
Okay.
Yeah. And having read this passage, you just finish the last sentence in this chapter talking about the dangers of astral projection, when there's a ding and the doors to the elevator on the far side of the room open, and your friends walk in.
Hello. How
We
was it?
spared some very unpleasant company. We were told from a hag to go get a hag.
Basically.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but the hag also refused to give us her name, and so did the elf lady. So I'm not saying they're the same person, but I'm not saying they're not the same person.
Well said, Leaf. Bravo.
Basically, Alyssum, there's a woman in the office. She was a right hard nut to crack. I'll say it again. And she told us that there was a band of hags, actual hags, and that we met their leader. That's who told us to plant the root, the root of all evil. And apparently one of these hags is off by herself. She's easy to find, easy to get to, and we could either take revenge, go find out information why she's separated from them, but they wanted us to go and see about a hag, and they gave us a not so great map, but it is a map, and we can find her and see what's happening.
Is this rogue hag the same hag that gave you the root, Velara? Or someone different?
The impression that I get is that it might be someone different, but who the fuck knows?
Okay.
For all I know, it's that bitch in the office who gave me the root.
That could be.
Either way, perhaps we should go and find out.
Velara, is he okay to leave?
Oh, leave on?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think he should leave, no, but I wouldn't want to leave him without any supervision. So if you want me to come with you, I would just need to find someone who is, well-versed, unless we want to bring him along.
Can you call a little rodent friend, Depian on the screen, and just ask him if we could leave on here. That's what I would do.
I will. And Daisy opens the scrying glass and says, Deppin, hello.
The silver surface ripples a little bit, very typical, and then you see an image of Deppin in his office, chewing on something and writing a note. Yes, good. Okay.
Deppin.
Interesting.
Hello. Deppin.
Oh, hello. How are you doing?
Deppin, we've been tasked with a mission of sorts, and but we want to make sure that Levon is being well taken care of.
Okay.
We're going to be taking Alyssum with us. So, is there a nurse or someone in the medical?
Oh yeah.
Building?
I can get one of the medical staff to come and sit with him, and I'll come sit with him too.
Wonderful.
Okay. Let me know how it goes.
Will you be here soon, or will someone be here right away?
We'll come right down. Yeah, I just have to, and he takes something out of his mouth and puts it down on the desk, and he goes, yeah, I'll come down in just a second.
Wonderful. Thank you, Deppin.
Okay. Bye.
Deppin's coming down, and he'll bring someone from the medical wing.
Perfect. I was just reading this really fascinating book. It's about, it's filled with all of these spells, these protection spells for astral healing journeys. And actually, one of the spells mentions mugwort. Apparently, you can tie the ends of mugwort into a crown, make a crown, and then wear it for astral projection journeys.
Bear in mind that the same woman who gave me the root of all evil is also the same woman who gave me the mugwort.
May I inspect the mugwort to see if I see anything out of the ordinary?
Okay, make a nature check.
Eight.
It's an interesting plant. It looks very green still, even in this place where colors are a little bit dulled. It's still very bright. Looks like a plant.
It looks like a plant to me.
All right, I'm going to tuck it back in my saddlebag, and I say, when one of the medical experts gets here, I'm going to have them examine it before anyone is doing anything at all with this mugwort. We will have it scientifically examined to confirm exactly what species of mugwort it is and whether or not it is laced with anything else. No one is to touch this mugwort until we determine this.
Do you want me to take a look and see if I can figure anything out?
Please do, Leaf.
All right, roll your nature, Leaf.
Aw, 13.
You know what?
I take it back.
I mean,
I might want to see about this.
well,
mugwort.
hang on. Let me tell Leaf first what Leaf figures out. With a 13, I mean, it does look like a plant, but you have a connection to nature as a druid. And you feel very strongly that it is a plant. It's not some kind of illusion, or it feels like it came from nature. It's not artificial.
Well, I can tell you that it's a real plant, and it's not like magical, right? That's not what I'm. It's not like it's not. It doesn't have any like spells or anything. It's a plant.
But have you heard, in the city that I live in, they are experimenting with these things called genetically modified organisms. They are also still very much real plants. If you put them under a microscope, you will understand this is still a real plant with no magical properties. So, again, I just do not feel comfortable giving it to anyone for anything until we determine exactly the origins of this plant. I don't care if I have to find
Velara,
in the land.
make a history check for me. I want to see, because in Mozambique you frequented the library, and you said you knew what a hag was. So I'm going to say there's a chance that you might have come across this in one of the books. So make a history check. I want to see if you remember.
16.
Yeah. All right. One thing that you do remember, the clouds, the fog in your brain parts for a second, and you get a stark memory of sitting in the library one night looking for a kid's book to bring to the House of the Golden Flower. You remember reading about hags. And one of the big tenets of a hag's deal, or a bargain they make, is that they stick to the bargain. And they don't, the bargain itself is sometimes a trick, but what they promise, they give. And there's no taking back.
So I am to trust that this is really just pure organic mugwort?
If the woman had told you that it is mugwort and it was a hag's bargain or a deal, then yes.
Okay, I'm just thinking, this is a very challenging game for me, what with player knowledge and character roles.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
So I'm just having a hard time. I'm thinking as Velara, I fucked up once in this afterlife. I'm not fucking up again with anything that woman told me.
Understandable.
So as a player, I understand how to take the mugwort. However, as a character, I'm like, hell to the no.
Yeah, it makes sense. So Velara does remember this, but your apprehension is understandable.
Okay, but bottom line, for both player and character, take the mugwort?
You can, or you can leave it. It depends on.
Okay. Just trust that it's organic.
Yes.
Okay.
If the hag had made a bargain with you, hags, they're like perhaps their one redeeming quality is if they make a bargain with you, the bargain itself is often the trick. But if they promise you something,
Got it.
they'll give it to you.
And the trick has already happened. The root of evil is planted. So now the bargain should be authentic in this lore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
It's a like code of conduct that they have, and it's the one thing that they are a stickler about.
All right.
It's just inherent. They're not going to lie about that.
Then I turn to Leaf and I say, wow, you must be a very talented druid for someone your age. How old did you say you were?
10.
You're only 10. I'm very impressed. You know, I need a lot. Oh, okay.
Goblins are adults at 8.
Very interesting. There's so much I would love to know about goblins. You must take me to a goblin village one day. I would very much enjoy that. If you feel
but not mine.
Not yours, no. It sounds like there's a civil war of some sorts going on where you're from.
No, they just fight a lot.
I understand.
Yeah.
Either way, all right. Well, let me just sit on this mugwort for a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of fighting, I feel like we should get out of here and go find us a hag.
Agreed.
All right.
Do we need to wait until Deppin gets here?
He said he was on his way.
The nurse is in here, right? I mean, all right, let's wait for the little
Oh,
fella.
is there a nurse?
Not yet. No, you guys are the only ones here.
Yeah. I just don't personally feel comfortable leaving him unattended.
All right. I'm waiting for a ferret.
Any minute.
Yeah. So you wait. About 5 minutes passes, and then there's a ding on the opposite side of the room, and the doors of the elevator open, and you see Deppin coming out, and he's in the middle of, he has like a satchel underneath his arm, and he has something in his mouth again, and he's writing down, and he's talking very quickly to this bored-looking young man, this human man who's coming in with him, and he has on the white, it's not an apron, but it's like a collared shirt that you've seen is indicative of medical staff here. And he also has this like scarf around his neck. You've seen this guy once or twice, and you know that the scarf is hiding the signs of his death. He has this like long cut along his neck, but he likes to hide it. So they come in, and Deppin, seeing you guys all, runs over and says, "Hello, I'm here. How's Levi? Is he okay?"
He's doing just fine. He's just resting now.
Okay.
In a very deep, deep, deep sleep.
Oh, good. I've heard that's good for people who are in pain.
Yes.
Okay.
But I trust he will be taken care of while we...
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna sit here with him while you guys are gone because he was my friend.
Okay.
Okay. And he sits in the chair that's you've pushed right over next to Levon's bed. And he sits very awkwardly because his body's like a weird shaped banana, and his feet are hanging off the side kicking, and he's writing down, and he starts talking to Levon. He's like, "Hi Levon, it's really nice to see you. So today I'm figuring out what different things taste like. I've never tasted this before, so I'm writing down in my book." And he's like showing the unconscious body his book and being like, "They have a whole satchel here of things that I'm tasting. So far, ink is very bad." So that's the company that you leave him in.
Will exit the room.
Okay. So I'll head to the elevator, head down. Yeah?
Go ahead.
You head to the elevator, you head down. If there's anything you need to grab from your rooms, you do so before you leave smartly. And you follow the map. You head back out of the city, this time in almost exactly the opposite direction of the forest. And on the map that you were given, this crudely drawn, like X marks the spot, Joven had written you a little message saying, "This journey is going to take some time. If you need anything along the way, just scry." You head through the darkness of the Plains of Penitence. And again, no temperature, no sound. It's like walking around being cut off from most of your senses. It's very disorienting. And out here, it feels even worse. What you're walking through is just shadow. It's like a low-hanging fog, a dark fog. You're on a path that's well-worn. There's some cobblestones beneath your feet, so you at least know where you're going. And one of you has the map out, and you're trying to follow it as much as you can. It's not drawn for scale. But you pass certain landmarks that are set off to the side, and you pass this giant hanging rock. It's very sharp. It looks like an arrowhead, and that's on the map, so you know you're going the right direction. And the further out you go, the more you start to almost get your senses back. You register the smell slowly, and it's very strange. You can't quite put your finger on what it is. Can everyone make a perception check for me?
That'd be a natural 20.
Nice. What did everyone else get?
21.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
And
7.
All right. Unfortunately, the Centaur fart is still lingering, just barely. So Rufus,
A powerful fart.
it was a powerful fart.
a very unself-conscious centaur, like how horses just have no problem just dropping poo. Like
They're horses. Why would they?
I was right in the crosshairs of it.
So you're both in the back of the line, and it lingers, and that you're trying really hard not to smell it. But the rest of you register the scent of like a hot day. There's a particular scent to it, and you smell sulfur. And
Wait
the
a-
further in you go,
Same thing.
underneath your feet, the gray dust that you're so accustomed to that lays heavily over everything in the Plains of Penitence starts to turn a little brown. And then minutes pass and it's red. It's bright red, rust colored. And the rocks on either side of you begin to shift color as well. Some small grays, some blacks, some onyx, some volcanic, bright reds. And you come seemingly out of this black fog that you're in into an area where you can feel heat. For the first time in a long time, you feel this temperature. It's like walking into a wall of humidity.
Was this on the map? Did they warn us about the color and the heat?
They didn't warn you, but judging from some of the landmarks, you're still on the right path. And you're still on this cobblestone path through this land. Make a survival check for me, Leaf.
All right. Oh, that's a nat 20, so 20.
Nice. Yeah. Being a druid, you know almost the anatomy of different lands just from your learning. You've only ever really experienced 2 different biomes, but this feels like something you read about, kind of like a boogeyman plane of existence. It feels like the Underworld, like a lighter version of what you had read about.
So you know how I told all of you that we're dead? Well, wherein this looks like something I read about one time called the Underworld. Just so you all know, I think that's where we are.
Underworld.
Does anyone notice that their senses are coming back to them, like sense of smell? Does anyone else smell that?
Yeah, at first I thought it was Velara again, but I think based on everything else that it just might be
So
where
does that
we
mean
are.
though that we're not dead anymore?
No, we're still dead. It's just a different part of the death thing.
So we went from one dead land to another. But in this dead land, you can smell different types of farts other than horse farts.
Yeah, it's like rocks farting.
Alyssum, would you make a religion check for me?
Religion 13.
13. Something about this rings a bell to you. Something that you were learning about in the temple. You remember there's different levels to the afterlife, essentially. You can't quite break through that fog in your brain to recall perfectly what it was. But this seems right. This seems like just another of hundreds and hundreds of onion layers of the underworld as a whole. So it seems close
It seems close.
to what you had imagined this place would be like.
Okay. Yeah, I have to agree with Leaf. I'm recalling some research that I did reading about the afterlife, and I think yeah. Leaf, what do you know? What do you know about the underworld, if anything?
What do I know about the underworld?
What was your role? Remind me again.
It was a nat 20 for my
Nat 20.
for my survival.
Yeah, I'll let that carry through. You remember the books you had read were very vague, and you had to sort of do so in secret. Your tribe they're not very big on raiding. That's just not the thing, because they would rather devote their time to fighting and honing their skills that way. What you can recall is that there are many layers to the afterlife, and the planes of penitence are essentially neutral ground. And there's a slope where it starts to dive deeper, and there's a section of layers called the Underworld, and that's where things start to turn darker. And then that layer slides down into Avernus, which is essentially proper hell. That's where all the worst devils and sins stay. So you were at a plateau, and you've started that slide down. You're at the very top of these layers and layers and layers that go down into Avernus.
So yeah, I remember hearing and reading about there's like a bunch of different layers and places that just it just gets worse the deeper we go.
Great.
Do we need to go deeper?
So according to the map, you're going to just continue on this plane for a while. And this is something that spans miles and miles and miles and miles. So you're not going to just plop into hell out of nowhere. It's a gradual slide.
A gradual slide into hell.
A gradual slide into hell.
I like it.
Like you do.
I like it. I like it.
Great.
Story of my life.
That's what I was about to say. It feels like right.
That's what I should title my memoir. A gradual slide.
Into hell.
Please do.
Yours or Velara's?
Mine.
Both.
Anyways, back to the game.
I would love it if you would. So the map takes you down this road, and again, you still see these landmarks that are like, here's a ring of ugly red mushrooms, and you do find this ring of ugly red mushrooms that are somehow off on their own. You see these landmarks. You know that you're still going in the right direction, as much as you can be with this terribly vague map. And you pass by a ring of trees. And this is something like a bigger landmark that's on your map. It's 17 trees in a ring, and they all look scorched. And it's described on the map as well. So you continue, and you're still feeling this heat. It gets just a little bit worse as you go deeper. And Rufus, are you keeping track of time on your watch?
You know, I feel like if I knew how this thing works, I would be. So, do you know how this thing works?
Yeah, you get an approximation of how it works. You can tell that many hours have passed, and none of you are feeling particularly tired. Your sleep schedules are thrown off a little bit by the fact that there's no day or night here. And you don't feel proper exhaustion unless you've been overexerting your skills. Alyssum, several times over the course of the last couple of days, you've gotten yourself towards exhaustion by meditating and honing in on your medical skills. It's really just use of things that take you down to tired. After a little bit, on your left, you've started noticing these rock outcroppings off in the distance, but they get closer and closer and closer until you find yourself heading into almost a canyon. These massive rock walls start coming up on either side of you. Further in you go. And you're coming up on this X. This X marks the spot. And there's a line above that X that says, "Don't continue." And it's in Jovin's handwriting. On your left, up ahead, where that X would be, approximately, you see a jagged opening in the side of this cliff face. And you're still on this path down the center of these two red dirt walls. And that opening is just ahead at about 60, 65 feet. But that is, as far as you can tell, where the X is leading you.
So you think the hag is in the cave? And I mean, it makes sense that he wouldn't want us to go past this point, because it gets real gross.
Would anyone like me to cast silence to see if we can approach this crevice in the cave without making our presence known, just to evaluate the situation?
You could do that, or I could do like a pass without trace sort of thing.
That would be better.
So that way we can still cast if we need to, you know.
That would be better. I vote for that.
Alright. Can everyone get close? It's only yeah, well, I mean, we don't have to get too close. It's a specific size. I'll just do it, and you'll see. So I'm gonna cast pass without trace.
All right. Leaf successfully casts pass without trace on the party. Are you attempting to sneak up to the entrance then?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd also like to cast a spell as well. I'm going to cast Aid to three of my allies here. Each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increased by 5 for the duration.
And
So
how long does that last?
It lasts 8 hours.
Excellent. Ooh, that's nice.
So I'm going to cast it. Who are my most squishy allies?
Not me.
What do you mean, my squishy, darling?
Not a lot of hit points.
Well, put them up. How many we've got?
I'm at my max right now.
Well, we should all be because we had a long rest. But if your max isn't very much, you're going to add 5 to your max.
I have 44.
Alyssum?
51.
All right. Rufus,
Yeah,
I will
darling.
give make your max hit points 5 more. And Alyssum, you as well. And Leaf, you're all right. And
I'm all right. Yeah. I
and
got almost 60.
all right. And you're all right then, Velara.
I'm at 52. I will always take an extra boost if I
Yes.
can get it.
Take an additional 5 then.
Thank you.
All right. So for the next 8 hours, you have +5 temporary hit points. Everyone who is going to try and be stealthy going into this cave, roll me a stealth check.
You know, there's a possibility as well for me to be invisible when someone else, I feel. Just so you. What did you say? You said what were we rolling for?
Stealth
But you also get a +10
from Pass Without Trace.
from Pass Without Trace.
29.
Because I need it. Because I rolled a 7, so +10 is 17.
Guys,
Okay.
my D&D Beyond is being weird, and now half my page is covered, and oh shit.
Well, we
okay.
can't see it. It's on green screen.
Yeah, there's like not ads covering my character sheet. Hang on, let me try refreshing the page. Maybe that'll help.
Okay.
It's like the D&D menu dropped down and is glitching over my entire character sheet.
Oh, you couldn't just scroll up past it?
No, it wouldn't let me.
Weird.
Hang on, it's just reloading, and then I'll do what type of check are we supposed to make? Here we go.
Stealth.
And
Stealth.
then you add 10.
Okay. 23, 20, 28.
28. All right.
28 here as well.
26.
All right. So the lowest we have is 17. Okay. You think you're all being really pretty stealthy. You're pretty much silent going into this cave. It is dark and cramped, and the steps in the dirt have been very crudely made. And you feel heat coming up from inside the cavern somewhere. But you start to tiptoe down as a group. And after a couple of minutes, you start to hear some noise. You can't quite place it. It's a squishing. It's a writhing. And there's some kind of music to it. You can't quite hear the tune. And down at the bottom of the steps, who's at the front of the group?
I'm in the back because my macaroni and cheese that I ate yesterday has been making me too gassy. Everyone, I'm bringing up the rear.
Okay, it's affecting you.
I'm in the middle since I believe the Pass Without Trace radiates from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at the front with
All right.
Artemis and Calliope.
Okay.
I'll be at the front too.
I'm behind. I'm right in front of Velara.
Okay. Daisy, I'm gonna say you're the one that's at the head of the group, and very carefully, very, very carefully, you peek around an outcropping. At the bottom, there's this wall on your right that breaks away into a room. And what you see is this. You're the only one looking around this corner. You're looking into a small cavern, a low ceiling, stalactites, stalagmites, dirt red, rusty colored brown, and you see fires lit in what looks like roughly carved little fireplaces, almost the size of a bonfire. And in the firelight, you see the figure of a woman. She is hunched over, and she is decorated in leathers browns and tans and flesh tones. And there are bits of bone that she has used to decorate her armor along the seams. She has what looks like an animal spine that she has sewn into the spine of her dress. And she has bits and bobs and flasks and pouches all over. And she looks like she is harvesting larvae all along the wall. White, squishy larvae. And that is where we're going to break. We will be back in a short while.
Oh, gross. Okay.
All right, see you in a minute.
BRB.
All right, we're back from break. Thanks for sticking with us. Rachel, you want to tell us where we're at?
All right. So when we left off, Daisy, you were looking into the room at the head of the group. What you saw was a low-ceilinged cavern. There was the silhouette of a hunched-over woman, an older woman, going around and essentially harvesting larvae. And she has 3 main bonfires set up so that she can see what she's doing. And you get the sense that this is where she's getting most of the heat, why it's so hot down here. Roll a perception check for me, Daisy.
6, but I'm also going to use my flash of genius, and
Okay.
it's only going to make it an 11, but it's better.
Okay. With an 11, you notice that off to the right, there's an opening, like a doorway, that goes off into another room. So what you're looking at here is a larger room. There's another room off to the right, and this old woman going around. There's some music coming from somewhere down here. Sounds like one single instrument. And she's harvesting these larvae, but you can't see what she's doing with them.
All right. Does the rest of the group see?
You are the only one that's looking around the corner. You're all in a rough staircase made out of the dirt underneath your feet. And what they see is a wall. You have come to the edge of the wall and you're looking around into this room.
Is there enough noise going on that I might be able to whisper to them what I saw?
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn to them and say, okay, she's in there and she seems to be harvesting larvae. And if you look, there's a door to the right. What should we do?
Harvesting larvae like little worms that are all white, like that.
Yes, it's very disgusting.
It's not appetizing, that's for sure.
Yeah, I thought she ate souls or something. Didn't they say something about souls? Or no?
Don't remember that.
Yes, their sustenance is the harvest of souls. Very torn right now because on the one hand, she is a hag. On the other hand, she is a disband hag. Perhaps I could try to hold her paralyzed to get more information.
I could turn her into a frog or something.
Do that! That's a splendid idea.
Alright, but I can't do that and keep us hidden.
Maybe wait. Do I have something? I have all things I don't remember how to use, because we're in the underworld, so memory and all.
Can I do a history check to see if like anything that I recently read in one of those books involves larvae? Like cells?
Yeah, actually, make a religion check for me.
Okay.
You do have
4.
It's a what? Oh, remember you got advantage because you had a really great recap. So if you want to use it now, you can. You don't have to.
No, not on this. I'm gonna save it for when it counts.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Leaf, were you considering casting polymorph on her?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I could also cast polymorph on her, or attempt to, and we could turn her into a little frog, bring her back to the bureau, tie her up and bind her, so that by the time the spell ends, then she can be interrogated.
Yeah, and then I can keep up this darkness that we have. Also,
Yes, and
maybe we
perhaps
should go with like
interrogate her in frog form,
or
and then we speak with Sebastian.
yeah, I'm worried that she might look too much like Sebastian if we turn her into a frog.
Ooh.
And I don't want to wrongfully.
What about a mouse?
Mouse or a newt or a
newt.
Maybe something that's not particularly threatening.
Wriggly. Or
worm? Can we do a worm?
A rabbit. Something that's easy to catch as well.
Rabbits
Yeah.
are too fast.
Worm would be a good idea. They don't move very fast.
A turtle. Very slow.
As long as it's not a snapping one.
No, a painting turtle.
Baby turtle.
Baby painting turtle. Okay, shall I try?
Yes.
Perhaps you should both try at the same time.
You're gonna have to do one at a time.
You cannot break the pass without trace spell.
Oh. Doesn't doing a spell out of pass without trace, does it drop the spell if someone does magic? Or is that just invisibility?
That's just invisibility.
Okay. Oh, but you don't want to use up your slots.
Well, it's also a concentration spell. So I can't do 2 concentration spells at one time. I'd have to drop Pass Without Trace and then do Polymorph. And then if we want to sneak back out, I'd have to do Pass Without Trace again.
All right. Shall I do it? Are all in agreement?
Wait, let me see if there's anything I can do to help you with this.
Okay.
Very quickly.
It will be a wisdom save, so if there's anything that could strengthen my wisdom.
Oh, no then.
Or maybe make it so she's not as wise.
Yes, I don't think I have anything to do that.
Well, as my bonus action then, I would like to cast... hang on.
Keep in mind, you're gonna have to maneuver through the group because you're at the back of the line, and the only person that can see her right now is Daisy.
She's within 60, you said we're like 60, 65 feet away?
Do you need to see her for this spell to work?
It says...
It should be in range. Like
Yeah.
a target that you see.
Range is 60 feet, components VSM. So yes, I'll move forward to see her.
Okay. Everyone make a stealth check as you're moving out of the way. It's a small passage, so you're going to have to squeeze in.
Okay, but before I did that, though, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to, as my bonus action... Oh, that's a reaction. Never mind. Okay. All right, then I move forward, doing stealth check.
And we still have a +10 for Pass Without Trace.
Yep.
26.
Well, I'm in the back and I rolled a natural 1. I'm not going stealthily forward.
But you have, a +10.
But when it's a 1, right, it doesn't count.
What?
Nat 1.
Natty ones and natty ones.
Wait, are you halfling?
15.
No.
She's a centaur.
She's
I rolled a 15.
What?
15?
15.
I trip on my hooves, trying to move forward.
I rolled a 27.
I rolled a natural 20, so 32.
I'll let you use your natural 20 to negate the effects of that one.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
I also can give her a flash of genius, which adds 5, but I don't know if that really...
It's okay.
All right. Shh.
So you see her about to trip. She's about to put her hoof down on a particularly sharp rock, and you stop her. Just in time. Make a perception check for me, Daisy.
13, but I'll flash of genius again and make it 18.
You can't tell, but you're pretty sure she hasn't heard what's happening.
Right.
You think you're okay.
Go ahead.
And Velara, what spell are you casting on her?
I'm casting polymorph
Okay.
to turn her into a painted turtle.
Okay. Let me see something really fast.
A small baby painted turnip.
Yes. Like, yay big. Just a little one.
A little baby.
You said your perception check was an 18?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the line shifts. You all step back and you move out of the way so that you can get Velara up to the head of the line. And Velara, you prep your spell behind this wall and you lean over just slightly, prepared to cast it. But when you do, you don't see anyone in the room.
Right.
What you see is a low-ceilinged cavern. You see larvae all along the corners of the room, and they're all wriggling. They're all moving. And you see a doorway off to your right, but you don't see the woman.
Okay. Then I'm going to whisper back to Leaf. Where's Leaf? Leaf, where are you?
I think I was right behind, no, I was right behind Alice.
You were in the middle.
Yeah, I was in the middle.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to whisper, I have a feeling that we have been already noticed. I can no longer see her, so it is okay if you want to drop Pass Without Trace and do polymorph, because instead I'm going to do fairy fire.
All right, let me,
What?
let me,
Could-
let me
could-
go
Behind
take a
you,
peek.
you all hear the sound of rocks falling.
Oh no.
Back towards the entrance.
That was the entrance. We're supposed to go in.
Just like in the hall?
It
Hang
might
on.
be wise if we head back to the entrance of the cave.
Sorry, Velara, what were you saying?
Which entrance? The one that we entered through, or the one
Behind
that
you.
we're in? Behind us. Okay.
Yes. And
I have a question too.
Mhm.
Were the men saying the X marks the spot? Don't go was the cave and not or was it
yeah,
outside?
so the X marks the spot was the cave that you were headed to. There was a line, and above that line, Joven had written, don't go further.
Don't go further than the X.
Yeah,
And
the
the
line
line.
that he had drawn.
The line which
So
is
there was the
above
X,
cave.
and then a line, and above that line was written, don't go further.
And we're at the X.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Well, that's not good.
Didn't I just see her though? And I thought she hadn't seen us.
you did,
That's what
I
I
but
thought.
no one did.
going to,
Wait, before you do anything, remember, because I remember that as a character as well, no one saw her but Daisy. So Daisy should look and see if she still sees her, because if you still see her, we still need Pass Without a Trace.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to peek around again.
You see if you
All
can
right.
see
Everyone make another stealth roll as you shuffle again to get a massive
I only
horse
have to shuffle
out of the
past.
way.
I only have to shuffle past her though, past Velara.
All right. Then I'll let just you and Velara do the stealth check.
Okay, 27.
Okay.
it.
28.
Okay. You guys are fine. You think that you are quiet. You don't make a sound. You shuffle places again. It's kind of a constricted hallway, so you have to like maneuver all along this horse body. But you manage to get ahead of the line again, and you peek around the corner. You see the room as it was before, but you don't see the woman.
She's gone.
What should we do?
Do you
I
think
would
she's...
leave until I hear further information.
Well, I have a spell that can conjure up a dog. All right, it's called Faithful Hound. It's my hound. His name is Dumbledore, something I've heard before. You know, just came off with it top of my mind. Cheap one. Anyway, I conjure up a phantom dog in an unoccupied space that I can see within range. Where it
Are you
remains
doing this, or are you just talking about it to your friends?
I'm thinking about doing it right now because
Okay.
this can see. It can see. It is invisible to all creatures except for me, and it cannot be harmed. And it starts barking loudly. When a small or large creature comes within 30 feet of it, and it sees invisible creatures and can see into the ethereal plane.
I like this hound.
Mhm.
It ignores illusions.
As you guys are speaking out loud, behind you, you hear a voice.
Oh no.
And it sounds like, who's last in line now? You've all shuffled, I don't know.
Rufus,
It's me, and then it's Velara, and then it's
Alyssum.
Alyssum, Leaf, and then Rufus is in the back.
All right, Rufus, as you're saying this, right behind your shoulder, you all hear this, but Rufus, it feels like it's behind you. You hear, "What are you here?"
Oh no.
Oh God. I guess I turn around because I don't have time to confer about that. And I say, you know, I'm assuming you're the hag. I mean that in the best of ways, just from a scientific, that's what I'm aware of. We come in no harm. We've heard you're an outcast, just like essentially the rest of us been outcast from where we live. We don't know why.
What do you want?
We want to know why you've been outcast.
None of your business.
We can help you
No,
get
you
back
cannot.
to where you want to be.
No, I do not want to be anywhere. I want to be here. Why are you here? Why have you come into my home?
Do you have some sort of refreshment? I would like to persuade her to invite us into the cave. Could we take a break? We have been journeying quite a
You
way.
cannot see her.
But can I hear her? Can I hear this dialogue?
You can hear something.
Oh,
Is
I
it
can hear.
only Rufus can?
No, you can all hear something. You can hear the voice.
None of
You
us
can't
can
see
see
her.
her.
No.
Oh.
So only Rufus can hear and see her right now.
No, no one can see her. You can all hear her.
Okay.
You can try and persuade her, but it's going to be difficult.
I assume if she's using a spell, could I use a counter spell?
A counter spell?
I have counter spell. Isn't she using spell to make herself invisible?
You don't know?
I cast Fairy Fire.
Where?
You tried to kill her already.
No. It just lights up anyone who's invisible and for 60 feet.
In what direction? Is this a cone or is it a sphere?
It says 60 feet. Each object in a 20-foot cube within the 60 feet range is outlined in blue, green, or violet. We're going to go with violet. And any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in the light if it fails a dex save.
Okay, but is this a cone or is this a sphere?
It doesn't say. It just
It said cube for 20 feet.
It says 60
20-foot
feet
cube.
/ 20 feet. So the range is 60 feet, and there's 3 20-foot cubes in that range.
So then that's going to be in a cone. That's going to be in one direction. So which direction are you?
I'm
casting
shooting it
this spell?
back down the hall behind us, because that's where Rufus is.
Okay, you shoot it down the hall behind you, up towards the entrance of the cave. Nothing happens. Nothing gets illuminated.
Okay.
And you hear this laugh that sounds like it's moving above you and then in between you and then behind you. And she says, "Oh, you think you know so much. Get out."
But
This is
didn't the rocks fall and block the entrance?
Did they?
Charge into the cavern.
Okay. All right, everyone roll initiative. You charge into the cavern. You have to push past Daisy, but you do so. And in fact,
Nice. Do we still add a 10?
No.
no, this is not a stealth roll.
Right. So
This is
initiative.
just
yeah?
initiative.
19.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Yay.
Woo woo! Okay. All right, Velara, at the head of the group, what did you roll?
What? Oh, 17.
17. And what is your dex modifier?
My dex modifier is +2. Oh,
+2.
that's the one at the top, right? Not the saving throw.
Yeah, that's just your mod. Yeah.
+2.
I asked because if you rolled the same as someone else, which
Gotcha.
you may have, there's a contested roll between your two dexes. And whoever has the highest dex goes first. Daisy, you're behind her?
6.
A 6. All right, who's behind Daisy?
Me.
Leaf,
No,
what'd you roll?
Alyssum.
Alyssum?
Yeah.
All right,
19.
Alyssum, what'd you roll? 19. All right, then Leaf?
5.
5. And Rufus, taking up your rear.
19.
19. Excellent. All right. So, Velara, you go charging into this room. There's no one there. But in the room opposite, that doorway that you had seen, you hear shuffling. Okay. You are all in a line right now, and you're going to have to come out single file. You can't go 2 at a time. So we're going to have to stagger these a little bit. First up, Velara, you have charged into the room. Is there anything else you'd like to do while you're in this cavern?
Could you describe it to me? Like, what am I seeing? Where exactly is this other doorway, and how far is it?
So again, we are in a low-ceilinged cavern. It's a room in front of you. It's about 30 feet by 30 feet, roughly square. There are 3 bonfires, one in the center of the room, 2 on either side. On your right is an opening, essentially, that leads to another smaller cavern. You can't see what's in there right now, but that's at the edge of your 30 feet.
Okay. Am I going first? Am I the highest in the initiative?
Yep, that's why I'm asking what you're doing. You're in the room first.
Gotcha. Okay. In the room first. Let's see.
This isn't where you're going to be in rounds, but you charged into the room first, so you're getting your round first, and then we're going to start at the top of the order.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me go through. I'm trying to find my options that don't rely on visual. So
take a second and everyone figure out what you're going to do on your round. I'm only going to give you a certain amount of time too. Alice?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to keep charging into the next cavern.
All right. You charge into that other room, and you are faced with what looks like a bedroom. There's a bedroll laid out in the corner. It's much smaller. This is like a 15 by 15. But you also find 3 pairs of eyes staring back at you when you charge into this room. It's a little bit darker. There is a torch, but in here you see 3 dogs. They're larger than normal dogs. They have red fur that looks like it's singed a little bit, and they all start to growl, and the hair on the back of their necks stands up.
Okay. Then I would like to cast Bane on these 3 dogs.
All right, read Bane for me real fast.
Bane is 1 action. Up to 3 creatures of your choice that you can see within range must make charisma saving throws. Whenever a target that fails this saving throw makes an attack roll or a saving roll before the spell ends, the target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw.
All right. Let me see how these dogs fare. You said it was a charisma saving throw?
Yes.
Ooh. All right, that one didn't do so well. What is the DC?
Let me look it up. the DC. Do I add my spell modifier, my spell attack modifier?
It should just be listed on your sheet.
Sorry, where would I find that?
It's
Your
above
DC?
your spells on the D&D Beyond. Like it says modifier, spell attack, and then save DC.
Oh, save DC 14.
All right. Lucky for you, each one of these dogs fails.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn? Any bonus actions?
Bonus action. Yeah, I'll charge toward the one nearest to me as a bonus action.
You've already used up most of your movement coming into this room. And a charge is listed as a bonus action?
Yeah, I do a charge bonus action, and if I'm charging straight at the creature, it says if I move at least 30 feet straight toward the target and attack it with my hooves, I get like a bonus hoof action on my charge.
Yeah, I don't, because you have already used movement to get in here, I'm going to say you aren't able to use this because you've used up your movement. In a turn where you haven't already moved as an action, I would let you do that, but you've already used an action to move into this room.
So we're saying my movement into that room is my bonus action?
It negates that. Your movement was your movement, which is its own action as movement, but it negates this bonus action just because you have already moved. Does that make sense?
That whenever I move?
In combat, yeah. If you are standing still and you charge from a point of standing still and you haven't already moved on your turn, then you can use that. But you've already moved on your turn.
Okay. Then as my bonus action, I'll cast Bardic Inspiration on, let's see, do I have to? Oh, within 60 feet, whoever was behind me, if there's anyone behind me within 60 feet. Or would there not be? How big?
Yeah, Daisy would be. So this room is like a 10 by 15. It's smaller. So Daisy, who would have been behind you, across the 30-foot room. That's a total of like 40, 45. I would let you do that. But does Bardic Inspiration? Do you have to see the person? Is that line of sight?
It just says a creature other than myself within 60 feet that can hear me gains an inspiration die of 1d8.
Yeah, I'm going to say that she can hear you. Yeah. So Daisy, you get your inspiration die of 1d8.
So when can I use this again?
Daisy, there are 3 dogs in here. I'm giving you Bardic Inspiration.
You can use that on an action, I believe. Right, Alice? I don't quite know.
It says Bardic Inspiration. For 10 minutes, they can add it to 1 ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. This can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome.
Okay. All right, we are going to go to the top of the order. Alyssum and Rufus, what are your dex scores? What's your ability modifier?
My ability modifier is what did you say? My dex is
Yep, your dex modifier.
1.
And Alyssum?
2.
2. All right, Alyssum, you're going to go first, followed by Rufus. Alyssum, it is your turn. You are 15 feet up the staircase. What would you like to do? Daisy is in front of you.
What do I see? Like,
you see the staircase.
I still don't see the witch.
Nope. You guys are all in a line in the staircase.
Can they run past me?
Yeah, I'm going to let you guys squeeze past each other, but you're going to have to go one at a time.
Well, I kind of wanted to play this, like, I kind of wanted to, like, kind of step back until I have a better handle on what's going on, because I can't shoot at her.
Okay, if you'd like.
I don't see what's happening with Velara, right?
No, she's in a further room.
Completely different place,
yeah.
Who was able to hear me? At least Daisy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys would have heard a very quiet voice, but you would have heard there are 3 dogs when Velara shouted. If you would like, you can hold your turn, but you're going to either completely lose your turn this round, unless you jump in and say, I'd like to take my turn now. But when you jump in and say, I'd like to take my turn now, that's going to be your new place in initiative, if that makes sense.
Okay. Can I holler to Velara and say,
Sure.
Velara, do you need help?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to make my way into the cavern where she is. And once I get there and see the dogs, I don't go too, like, I would assume that as soon as I step into the room, I can see them.
Well, what's your speed? Because remember, you're 15 feet up the staircase.
30.
30? Okay. You're going to get, I'm going to say, so you get 15 down the staircase. You get 15 feet into this 30 by 30 room. And from here, you're like in the middle of the room in this main cavern with all the larvae in the corners all squishing and making this disgusting noise. You can see just the back of Velara in the doorway, but that is your movement.
Okay, and do I see the dogs?
Nope, you see just the back of Velara in the doorway.
Okay, well, then that was my move.
All right. Rufus, what would you like to do on your turn?
Well, you know, I was going to conjure up my own dog, who bites anyone within 15 feet of me that's hostile to me. And he barks at ghosts, basically. But I'm a little confused about how to use him. And he lasts 8 hours. But, you know, I'm going to wait on that for right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Blade Ward. I'm going to extend my hands. Actually, I'm going to take my guitar, you know, my arcane focus. And I'm going to kind of strum it, you know, into the air. Sparks might fly out, you know, because it's magic.
Yeah, and, they absolutely do.
Instead of my hand, it's, you know, it's my hand, my musician's heart. And I'm going to trace, you know, trace a signal of warding. It's like musical fire. And until the end of my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks, which may or may not, you know, serve me, who knows. And bonus action, I guess I can move. I'm at 25, my speed is 25, so I would be, and I'm in the back. So how close to Miss Alyssum would I get?
So if you're trying to get close to Alyssum, you are 25 feet up the staircase. You are essentially in a line of 5 feet. And what is your movement speed?
25.
Okay, so you can... It's going to be difficult moving through people, but you manage to get to the bottom of the staircase. You're in front of Daisy, and you can see the room, and you can see Alyssum. She's within 15 feet of you now.
So that would be my bonus is moving.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your movement.
Yeah. Use
anything else you'd like to do? Like you have a full action. You have a bonus action.
Oh yeah, and you know none of my spells are bonuses, so that's great for me. What I do is I just call out to you know, Velara, and I say, I'm here, I'm behind you, and I'm ready to go as soon as I can use a spell.
Wait,
Centaur Hound needs a spell.
Real
If you
quick.
still have an action.
Yeah, because is it taking double the movement to get down the stairs?
No, it's just taking your movement.
Oh, okay, then if you're not taking an attack action, can't you move another? Can't you?
If you would like to use dash, yeah.
You can use your action to, I thought, do your movement again.
Yeah,
if you dash.
The dash action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean,
so
dash?
if you didn't have if you want to get closer and you're not doing an attack, you can move again.
Yeah, but you have to say that you're using dash because that takes up not only your movement, which is separate from your action, but it takes up your action as well. So you won't be able to do anything else on that turn except unless you have a bonus action.
Right, so like if I've already cast a spell, I can't do dash.
Yeah.
And so
that's correct.
It's just my movement, so I could do a bonus action, but if I can't hit anything with a weapon and I have no spells that are bonus actions, I can't really do anything, right?
Yeah, you've already used your action to cast the spell, and you used your movement to move into the room.
I would need a spell that was also able to use as a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't do anything. So, all right. So I'm screaming, and I'm just, with my arcane focus and my guitar, and I'm shooting sparks in the air, and just like, I'm ready. And that's
You have this awesome metal playing in the background. This rock.
Yeah.
Good sound effect.
Shouting back, send your hound. There are 3 more dogs.
Well, I don't know. Maybe next time.
All right, Velara, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
It's my turn again already? Did
Remember, you had your initial round that was not part of initiative because you charged into the room. It was essentially a bonus round for you specifically. Kind of like a surprise attack, but not quite.
Okay, gotcha. Then what I'm going to do, let's see.
Where is this bitch?
Is chromatic orb just 1 orb, or can I divide it into 3?
I think it's just 1.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it'll say on the spell, like, if you have that special ability to twin spells, but I think that's only a sorcerer thing, then yeah, I think it's just 1.
Okay. Or in Siam, it's a sphere of energy. I have it as well.
Okay.
A very chromatic party.
Here. Yes, I love chromes. All right. Then what I'm going to do.
Chromes, I love orbs.
Yeah, chromes.
Chromes.
Chromed orbs, chromatic orbs.
Let's see, just 1 creature. Nope. All right, I guess I just go for the first, the dog that's nearest to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to throw a chromatic orb at.
All right. I believe that's a roll to hit.
Yes, I believe it is. And I'm casting it at 2nd level for now. So that'll be, let's see, roll to hit. And then I add this is where I add my spell attack.
Rolling to hit. Yes.
Do I add my modifier? Spell attack, because I'm attacking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your spell attack modifier.
Okay, so that'll be a 22 to hit.
22 will hit. Which dog are you going for? They're kind of in a triangle, like geese tactics. Huh?
The front one.
The front one, the one at the front. All right. Go ahead and do your damage. And what chromatic orb, what kind of orb did you choose?
I'm going to do fire damage.
Okay.
And that will be 4d8. Let me find my d8s. Okay, 1, 2, oops. All right, so it'll be 6 and 5, 11 plus 12, 15 points of damage.
All right, as you cast this fire spell, make a perception check for me.
Okay. 14.
The 14, you expect these dogs to be charred and burnt underneath your fire, but when you cast this spell, it washes over them.
Okay.
Hell dogs.
Any bonus actions or anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Okay, just to clarify, now I could charge if I wanted to?
Yes, you could. You have
If
not moved on this turn. If you wanted to, you definitely could.
Okay. Let me see if I want to. My equipment. Okay. How far away is it from me?
So the room itself is again like a 10 by 15. It's considerably smaller. It's almost in your face. It's about 7-ish feet away.
Okay, then I'm It's so charge, just to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly. Bonus action charge says if I move at least 30 feet straight toward a target and then hit it with a melee weapon attack on the same turn,
Yeah, so you won't be able to do that in this room. This is complicated because the Centaur is a homebrew race. This is not something that's really used in D&D. So if it says you have to move at least 30 feet, I think that means at the minimum 30 feet charge.
Okay, got it.
I think that's a thing that's supposed to catapult you into battle.
Okay, then for my bonus action, I will give Alyssum Bardic Inspiration. So add
Perfect.
1d8 to your rolls, Allie.
Do I still
She
have
is.
my bardic inspiration?
Mm-hmm. I believe that they can
For 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, not stack, but you can throw them out to different people. It doesn't matter. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Perfect. Okay. From the corner of the room, there's Rufus, make a perception check real fast. Actually, wait, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is, oh God, where is it?
Left-hand side of the D&D.
It should be listed like around your saves.
I'm in my, okay.
Column on your front page.
Beyond, everyone use it. Right. Now I'm trying to get to my thing and
No worries.
Wait, no. Here we go. So my passive wisdom.
Yeah.
Is my passive investigation is higher.
No, not investigation, perception.
Perception is 11.
Okay. Okay. You think maybe you hear something over the squishing of these larvae, but you can't quite tell. Make a wisdom save for me, Rufus.
Okay, all right, listen. Okay, now do I add anything? Wisdom?
Yes, it's your wisdom save.
+4, 15.
Okay. Over your shoulder, again, you hear that same voice. You can't tell where it's coming from. It's somewhere behind you, but it keeps moving. You hear that woman's voice say, "Your son was ashamed of you." And where'd it go? Oh, shoot. I lost that dice. Okay. You're going to take 7 points of psychic damage.
What?
As the phrase itself curls into your brain. And you can't ignore it.
Damage.
It's 7 points. All right. And she is going to do something else, and then
He was ashamed of me.
it's her turn. All right. These 3 dogs, instead of rolling all different ones, they're going to go at the same time. Pack tactics. Velara, you are facing down these 3 dogs, and they advance on you at the same time. Let's see. They are going to, one of them is going to try and bite you. The first one at the front, the one that you had attacked with your chromatic orb.
And they have to do a wisdom save, right? Because I cast Bane on them.
That's right, they do. Thank you for
So at
reminding
the
me.
start of their, let me read it again. They must make a charisma save. Whenever they fail it, then their attack roller saving throw subtracts a d4.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. That roll was a 2, and these dogs have a modifier that takes it down to 0. So instead of being able to attack you, it just snarls and starts barking viciously at you, but it doesn't attack. It loses that one. Okay. Another one is going to try and bite you. This is the one on your right, and it's going to try and go for your ankle, but this wisdom, yeah, absolutely not, or charisma rather, it does not manage to attack you. This last one, however, is going to rear back its head, and it curls its lips back, showing you its teeth before it opens its mouth and sends this jet of fire out at you. I need you to make a dex save.
Okay.
No.
22.
22. You manage to sidestep with all 4 of your feet off just in time as this gout of flame goes streaking past you. And it is so hot. You can feel the heat right along the side of your body, but you don't take any damage. Lucky you. All right, that is the dog's turn.
Can I use a reaction?
Sure, what's your reaction?
I'd like to do, I think, cutting words.
Okay, what's the, I mean, I'm sure the range is within range, but what's the range on that? Just so I know.
50 feet.
Yeah.
And it basically it's like a bardic inspiration for subtracting. So here's what it says. As a reaction, when a creature that's not immune to being charmed that I can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or a damage roll, you can expend 1 use of bardic inspiration, roll the die, and subtract the number from the creature's roll. And I can do so after the roll, but before knowing the result.
This won't help you because it's already missed. This would be if something hit you, you can use a reaction then to cause it to lose some of its virility. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Could I have used a reaction to my, little psychic damage?
What on your turn? Yeah. What kind of reaction were you looking for?
I have counter spell.
And do you have to see the person to be able to use counter spell?
No, I'll find that out what happens, Velara.
I think you do because you have to see them moving their lips. I think that's a caveat of the.
No, it can happen before they even cast it. Then you have to see it happening.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
Okay. Daisy, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You are at the head of the staircase. Rufus is just in front of you.
Can I get to where I can see these dogs?
What's your movement speed?
My movement is 30 feet.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to say at a diagonal, yeah, you can see them.
All right. I'm going to run forward where I can see them. And I'm going to shoot them with my crossbow.
Okay. So Velara is still standing in the doorway. She's moved off to the side to avoid this gout of flame. But in terms of a map, she is taking up the doorway. I, however, am going to let you make this roll, but make a dex check for me just to see. I want to see if you hit her or not. It's a pretty low roll. Normally, I think DMs don't allow you to do like a diagonal if someone is standing in the doorway, but I want you to try anyways.
Okay, so roll a dex.
Yep. Just a dex check, not a saving throw.
12.
Okay, yeah, that's good enough. If you get below a certain threshold, there's a chance that you might hit her some friendly fire because she is a horse in the doorway. But you manage to miss her. You crouch down and you aim between her legs and shoot. So go ahead and roll to hit. Which dog are you going for? The one in the front?
Yes, the one in the front.
All right. Roll to hit.
15.
Just hits. Go ahead and do your damage as you shoot this crossbow bolt and it goes between the legs of this horse.
4.
4 points of damage. You managed to do 4 points.
But I get to attack twice.
All right, go again.
That's not going to hit. It's an 11.
All right, 11 does miss. You are crouched and aiming between your friend's legs and trying very hard not to hit her, hoping she doesn't move in the meantime. You unfortunately do go a little bit far, and it skitters into the dirt, but you did manage to hurt one.
I don't think Artemis would be able to get by her.
No.
All right. So
it's a giant hippo, no.
Then with my bonus action, I'm going to use my Boots of the Winding Path, and I'm going to teleport. Well, I guess I wouldn't leave the room in 15 feet. Would I, to teleport backwards? I can only go somewhere that I've gone already this turn.
Yeah, so you can go back 15 feet. You were at the far side of the room, 30-foot radius. So you would go somewhere in the middle. You can go 15 feet back along the wall. What I'm imagining is that you came out of the doorway in this room. You stayed along this far wall to get this 30 feet to get to where Velara is. You shot. You can teleport back towards the wall 15 feet. So you'll just be on this far wall.
Then I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay where I am, and that will be my turn.
All right. Leaf, bringing up the rear. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I think I have to get in some sort of space where I can see what's going on. So I'll probably just have to dash. My speed's 30.
Yeah, you are 20 feet up the staircase. So you can get like next to Rufus, on the other side of Rufus.
With just my movement?
Yeah. Sorry, you said your speed was 25?
30.
30. Yeah, you can get within the room 5 feet. So you can get to the other side of Rufus with your 5 left over, because you're only 20 feet up the staircase. And then you can use that other 5 to get into the room, 5 feet.
Okay, I'll just
That makes sense.
Yeah, into the big room.
Yeah.
I'll do that, and actually, I'm gonna use the rest of my movement speed to try and get into the. No, I don't want to. I'm gonna stay in that room. I'm gonna stay in the big room with Rufus, and then I'm going to, as an action, cast Barkskin on myself. So my AC is raised. And then I'm going to oh wait, that's second level. I have a question. If I have a second level bonus action spell, can I cast that in conjunction with another second level spell?
Yeah, I don't see why not, if you have the spell slots.
Okay. And then
I don't mind if you like have a third level bonus action and you're using a third level as well. I don't care. Yeah.
Okay.
Why the fuck not?
Then I'm going to cast wait, let me make sure these aren't both concentration spells. But they're both concentration spells. Okay, then I'm just gonna cast Barkskin on myself and chill.
All right, you are 5 feet into the room. It is now the top of the round. Alyssum, in the center of the room. What would you like to do?
I would like to use my movement to go to where Velara is.
Okay, you can get right next to Daisy.
Okay. So now I see the dogs, right?
Yes, if you crouch down and look between Velara's legs, you can see the dogs.
I'm crouched.
Okay.
I'm going to use a cantrip called Green Flame Blade. And what this does, part of the action, do you know the spell?
Vaguely. I gave it to you, or no, I didn't give it to you. Remind me.
As part of the action used to cast the spell, I must make a melee attack with a weapon against one creature within the spell's range.
Here's the problem though. Velara is in between you and the dogs, and a melee attack, you're gonna have to like take out a sword. And you would be like stabbing between her legs. You would not be able to reach.
Oh, I also see that this is only, like the range is only 5 feet. So I would have to.
This is like, you remember like Ensnaring Strike? You cast it on your weapon, so your weapon is imbued with the power. And if you manage to hit something with the weapon, then it does this damage.
Okay, I see. All right. Then I will do instead.
Bear with us, guys. This is our first battle of the season, so we're still figuring out our spells and bonuses and reactions, etc. Thanks for bearing with us.
We're all playing new classes too.
It's true.
So I can't
some
go,
homebrew stuff.
I can't go any farther than.
No. So here's the thing, and here's something that we have to keep in mind in battle. Velara is literally a horse. So she's the size of a horse. and a horse is standing in the doorway.
Oh, she's in the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I do anything, I run the risk of hurting her or Daisy. All right, I will attempt to actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna, instead of like going into her legs, I'm just gonna go like right next to them. So like I'm on the side of the doorway, so I'm here, but I'm not like engaging with the dogs.
Okay.
So basically, I have eyes on the room where Leaf and Rufus are, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna pop a squat right here.
Okay.
And
so you're right next to them, like squatting by the doorway. You can see on the far side of the room where the staircase is that you came out of, Rufus and Leaf standing there. You see this open space where no one is occupying, and you have the hind of Velara right here, and Daisy's on the other side. So you're all clustered right here.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else you'd like to do? Any bonus actions or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Rufus, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
All right. So first of all, as a player, as a character, I can scream to them and not be part of my deal, right? Just talk to them.
Screaming is a free action.
So I say, hey, everybody, reminder, these larvae, I feel like we have to destroy them as well on these walls.
You have to say short. You're yelling in the middle of battle. This takes like 6 seconds.
Also, we kill the larvae. That's my idea. So,
Okay.
you know, I say that, keep it in mind. And then what I'm going to do is I have something, a cantrip I'm going to use, and it's Chill Touch. And it's 120 feet, and I create a ghostly hand in the space of a creature within range of 120 feet, and I make a ranged spell attack against the creature.
That you can see.
What can't I see in there? Well, I can move closer to see. Too.
Are you going to the dogs?
Wait.
What are you attacking? Are you attacking the larva? Are you attacking the dogs?
Well, if I was attacking the larva, whichever, would it be one larva if it's one creature, or could it be a whole wall?
I'm gonna say that you could get like 3.
Oh, but they're this big. Are they like big larvae?
They're like little
so
grubs.
But there are hundreds of them?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would be stupid. So, I mean, is there anything that could catch fire?
In this room, no, not really. You're in a dirt cavern with lots of rock. There are 3 bonfires that are already lit for light.
I'd also like to say that I am still in this room with you.
It's true. Leaf is ahead of you. So Leaf is also flammable.
Right. So my next question was, you know, if I'm doing something sort of like wall of fire.
Yes.
And people have to make, you know, there's deck saves that have to be made between anyone near me. So how far away would I have to get from everyone?
What's the range on that?
Well, it's 120 feet.
Yeah, everything in this room is going to be flammable. If you cast a wall of fire in this room, you might hit everything.
Yeah,
Also,
we're not going to do that.
Fire damage did not work on the dogs.
Yeah, but my Chill Touch works on undead, and it gives them disadvantage against me. So
sure, if they're undead.
Well, if they're not undead and it hits them, it hits them. So either way, win-win, right?
You're also going to hit Velara, you're going to hit Daisy, and you're going to hit Alyssum because they are
points
in between you and the dogs.
Wait, isn't Chill Touch like a?
I thought it was like a ray.
No,
it's
it's
shooting
like,
out in a line.
Like a skeletal hand.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like that's like sort of like a mage hand, but a skeleton maybe. I mean, I could be wrong, but you create.
Yeah, okay, why not?
You create a skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature to fill it with a chill of the great.
Okay, but keep in mind again, you're making a ranged attack against creatures. You're going to first have to move across the room 30 feet.
120 feet.
Huh?
Even though the range is 120 feet, and I
You
can
have to
touch
see them
I
to
don't
make
see
a ranged spell attack.
Okay, so how much do I have to move to see them?
30 feet.
I move
To get across the room. And again, Velara's in the doorway. There's a giant horse in the doorway.
But if I go,
So, if you duck, you're still going to have to make that dex save to see if you hit her. But you can attack. Yeah, like Daisy did earlier.
yeah, so I'm gonna duck.
Okay. What's your speed again? 30? 25? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. You are 30 feet across the room. You
Mm.
can get 25 into the room with your full speed, but it's going to be harder to hit these guys. So the DC to not hit Velara is going to go up a little bit.
All right, let's take out some of these then, let's take out some of these larvae then. Hundreds, 3 out of 100s. That seems freaking dumb.
Sorry.
I mean, so I can only, okay, so.
Because I think that Chill Touch actually only hits one target. Because you're making a ranged spell attack against one target, so technically it should only be one larva, but I'm letting you have 3.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but if there's hundreds, it's really going to make not much of a difference. This isn't, it seems to be impossible. And I can't hear her, see her.
Who her?
The old hag, the one that's causing all the problems as an old bitch, she should go back into the freaking grave.
Sure, yeah.
I hate her.
Can your dog do your dog?
I don't have the dog. I never performed the dog because, it's 4th level. I have 1 slot and, I'm waiting till that bitch comes about so I can actually do some damage. So I'm saving my dog. Although, if it's within 30 feet,
then I hit the whole room.
So I could have the dog in there with them.
In the room with the other dogs? Sure.
Yeah.
So remind me again, this dog can see within 30 feet and it can see invisibility.
It is invisible.
Yes.
Dog. To all creatures except
for you, but
not be harmed.
Yes, but the point was it can see invisibility.
So if the hag is in the room with us, it could see her.
It could see the bitch. Okay, hold on. I'm doing it. I'm in the room. I moved. So I don't know. Do I want to move closer or do I want to stay where I am? Because she was right near me recently. So I might
decide what you're going to do.
Okay, I'm going to cast this faithful hound.
Okay.
And what it happens is it's within 30. So I can put it anywhere within 30 feet.
Okay.
It remains there until I've dismissed it, okay? Or until I move 100 feet away. Now, the hound, it's invisible to all creatures, cannot be harmed, but when a small or large creature comes within 30 feet of it without first speaking the password, which is Jukebox Hero, it has to say that, has to sing it, then it starts barking loudly, so I know it's there, okay? It sees invisible creatures, sees into the ethereal plane, it ignores illusions.
Sorry, but it says only small or large.
Yeah. I mean, medium.
For a story, throw it in there. Throw it in there.
And then, in the start of each turn, it attempts to bite one creature within 5 feet of it that is hostile, only hostile to me. His attack bonus is equal to your spell casting ability modifier and your proficiency bonus.
Okay, you don't have to read the whole thing. Where are you placing this?
Oh, shit. So, can I ask my friends, where do I place the hound?
You have like 5 seconds.
Just place it.
Huh?
Just place it in the middle of the room.
Middle of the room.
This is all going to happen in like 5 seconds.
I play. Cast it. Sparks fly. Dog there. No one can see it except for me. Boom. And then
So this Doberman that only you can see materializes in the center of the room. And
more like a bloodhound.
Okay, never mind. A bloodhound that only you can see. It has this like sparkling sheen to it as if it's underwater. This ethereal dog appears in the center of the room, and I think this has to be another action, but again, for story, I'm the DM. I get to decide. It sniffs around. It's going to have disadvantage because she's technically not a small or a large creature. But again, I'm the DM. I get to decide. So he's going to, what is his, this dog, do you have the stats for this dog?
It says it's okay, 8 hours. It's 4d8 damage, but the attack bonus is equal to spellcasting ability modifier.
No. Just stats. Like, do you have like wisdom, charisma? I just need to know what its perception is. Okay. Then what is your perception bonus? Just the bonus.
My perception bonus?
Yes.
1.
Okay. Okay. So it's having a very tough time because this isn't technically something it should be able to see.
My proficiency,
it starts
my perception.
Your perception.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it can't quite pinpoint what it's looking for, but it starts barking at the far side of the room. You can't pinpoint where, but you have cut off half of the room. There's something on the far side of the room, on that wall where all the larvae are, that it's barking at. It's trying to find something over there. It's trying to sniff something out. And I think that only you can hear this barking.
It doesn't say that.
Flavor text. Only you hear the barking.
Okay.
Because you're the only one that can see the dog as well.
Okay.
Any bonus actions or anything else you like to do?
So it's within it has to be within 30 feet of the hound for it to bark. So
well, you're in a 30-foot by 30-foot
radius.
So
50
it's
feet,
just a
right.
30-foot radius. Or
Can I
circumference, not radius.
Can I move the dog?
No. That's part of the spell is the dog stays there and it doesn't move.
Right.
It's like an alarm. So if it starts snapping at air within 5 feet, you'll know something is there. But right now it's just barking in a general direction.
Barking. Okay.
And again, you won't be able to use this spell this way again. I'm just letting you do it now for story.
Yeah. Because dogs all around is fun. Okay, so I've used that. And there's a dog, we know. Okay.
Bonus action?
I can't really do anything. I guess I can I move closer to the wall?
If you'd like, yeah.
I don't want to. I'm chilling. I'm
okay. That's Rufus's turn. Velara, we are back to your turn. What would you like to do? You are faced with these 3 hounds that are all snarling in your face.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to throw another orb at the one that's nearest to me. And this time I'm going to try cold damage.
Perfect. All right. Roll to hit.
Okay. 22 to hit.
That'll hit. Do your damage.
Okay. Damage is 20 points of damage.
20 points.
Woo!
This cold ball slams out of you in this orb. It hits the dog, covers it in icicles. It lets out this yelp as it's overtaken by this frost. It starts shivering, but it's still snarling up at you. It looks like it's pretty badly damaged, however. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Move out of the doorway. I move out of the doorway, shouting, they're vulnerable to cold.
So, let me clarify. It did exactly the amount of damage you were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. So, are you just stepping a few feet out of the doorway, or are you moving?
So I'm imagining this little cave within a cave.
Yeah.
Where the dogs are. You said it's a bedroom about 15 feet?
Yeah, like 10 by 15.
Okay. So I'm just moving to the right of this is the frustration of not having maps is I can't quite see. And it's obviously we'll have different imaginations.
So picture this. You're in the doorway. Daisy's to your right.
Daisy's to my right.
And Alyssum is to your left.
We're
for them to be able to see. Huh?
We're all in the doorway together, or they're behind?
No, you are in the doorway. They're outside of the doorway.
Okay.
So like where your flank is, because you take up 2 squares. You big. You're svelte. Off to your hind quarters, Daisy's to your right, Alyssum's to your left. doorway that you're in kind of bisects you. It's like right in the center. So you take up 1 square on one side of the doorway, 1 square on the other. If you'd like for them to be able to see around you, you can back up like 10-ish feet, and then you can all 3 see into the room.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll back up enough so that we can all see and cast things with no one in the way.
Perfect. You move back 10 feet. You can all 3 see into the room. Anything else you'd like to do, or is that the end of your turn?
Nope, that's the end of my turn.
Perfect. Okay. Rufus, you're the first to see this.
No.
Your dog is snarling in an arc, in a 30-foot arc, looking around this half of the room, and all of a sudden, its head snaps over to the left. It's about 15 feet away from where you are right now at the staircase and where Leaf is. It's about 10 feet away. And out of seemingly nowhere, this invisible shroud drops, and you see the hag, and you can see her gnarled gray face, all the warts, her jet black eyes like little fish eyes staring you down. She has this helmet of bone. It looks like a bird's head, and the beak comes down and stops right about here, and she points one gnarled finger at you, Rufus, and she says, "You make a wisdom saving throw." 20. You feel that same feeling as before when you heard that sentence that hurt you to your core. You feel it in the back of your head, but you're still incensed by what you had heard. You manage to shake it off. Your friends are in danger. You can't have these invasive thoughts right now. And she goes, "Ugh!" She is going to move 5 feet off to the side. She's within about 10 feet of your dog. Only you can see. She can't see it.
Well, I can't see her either, right? Oh no, she's
You
taking
can see
off.
her. Yeah, she dropped her invisibility. So you all now, Alyssum is facing into the room. Daisy and Velara, you don't see this because you are facing into the smaller bedroom where the 3 dogs are. But Leaf, Rufus, Daisy, no, not Daisy. Leaf, Rufus, and Alyssum, you can now see the hag standing silhouetted by the fire. And that is going to be her turn. It is now the dog's turn, and they are all going to try and lunge forward. You're about 15 feet away. They move into the doorway, so you all have, Alyssum and Daisy, you see these dogs emerge from the doorway right next to you. They're within, like, breathing distance. And you can smell the sulfur and feel the heat coming off of their bodies. The one at the head of this V shape is badly damaged. The one at the head is going to attack Velara. What is your AC?
14.
14. Okay. It's going to lunge at your ankles, start snapping, and bite you. And it does 7 points of piercing damage. You also take 3 points of fire damage. As the teeth graze your skin, they leave these deep cuts that are almost immediately cauterized because of how searingly hot their teeth are. It feels like there's a fire inside of their mouths. The one on the right is going to attack Alyssum, who's right next to it. Alyssum, what is your AC?
You're muted.
14.
14. This dog comes out of the doorway, and you see its tiny, beady little eye turn and look at you, and it curves its body to be able to snap its teeth at you. It grabs you on the side, and it is going to do some damage to you as well. So you take 7 piercing damage as these teeth sink into your side, as well as 4 fire damage as they scorch through whatever cloth armor that you have on. These teeth sink into your body, and it leaves, but you can still feel the fire in your side, in your flesh from the teeth. All right, this final one is going to go for Daisy. It does the same maneuver. It sees you, curves its body, and lunges for you with a bite. With a natural 20 to hit. All right.
Oh no.
You're going to take 14 piercing damage.
Can I
as
use
it's
shield as my reaction, or does that not work against a natural 20?
I'm going to say for a natural 20, that reaction won't work just
Okay.
because of the nature of the natural 20. So you're going to take, what was it, 14? 14 points of piercing damage and 4 points of fire damage as it then latches on to you. And it's starting to burn. The longer it holds on, the more it hurts. You're in searing pain as this dog has attached itself to your side.
Oof.
All right, that is the dog's turns. It is now Daisy. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
So this dog is still attached to me.
Yeah, it hasn't let go.
I keep thinking of that video.
Oof. Okay, I am going to take. Oh. I am going to. It's so close to me. I can't shoot it with my crossbow. What can I do to it?
While you're looking, could I take this opportunity to ask, just for future reference, Rachel, if this scenario would be a time when I would use cutting words as a reaction?
So again, your reaction is going to tell you when you can use it. It's going to say something like if you see an attack within 5 feet of you, or if someone attacks you. What does it say on your reaction?
So it says, as a reaction, when a creature that I see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or a damage roll, I can expend a use of Bardic Inspiration, roll the die, and subtract the number from the creature's roll.
Yes, so again, if you see an attack, it doesn't have to be on your turn, happen within 60 feet of you, you can do this. That's a reaction.
Okay, since we're all still pretty high in hit points, I'm going to hold that right now, but that helps clarify. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to I'm going to pull my great club and just try to smack it off of me.
Go ahead and hit.
And you're bardically inspired.
Oh, yes. I don't think I need, wait, do I have to use it now or can I save it?
No, you can save it.
I don't think I need it now. That's a 16 to hit.
Yeah, you'll hit. Go ahead and do your damage as you try and smack this dog off of you. I'm going to see.
Oh, 1 point of damage.
Okay, only 1 point, but I'm going to see if his strength holds. Make a strength check for me real fast. It's going to be a contested roll.
Okay. Strength. Oh no, I just clicked it. Oh, hold on. Come back. That was cocked, so let me roll. 10.
All right. With a 10, you actually manage to hit it. Even though you don't do too much damage to it, you manage to do enough to stun it for a brief second, and it lets go. You feel it release and leave your side.
Okay, can I still hit it? Is it still within range that I can smack it again? With
Yeah, you can attack twice. Yeah.
7.
A 7 will not hit. You're still in a little pain as it's searing into your side. You just swing, trying to get it away.
With my bonus action, Artemis is really mad, and Artemis is going to go for this dog that just bit me.
Perfect.
Let's see. $20 to hit.
With a 20, that'll definitely hit. Yeah. I'm going to say she followed you into the room. She sandwiched herself in between you and Velara. She ran right in, ready to do some damage. Roll your damage.
9 points of damage.
All right. What is she doing? Is she biting or headbutting or?
Yeah, she's she's biting with her like huge mechanical jaw, hungry hippo situation, and attacking this dog.
You hear this mechanical as she opens her jaws and snaps at him, and she kind of hits a knee, and the dog yelps and jumps back just a little bit. She does her damage. All right. Leaf, bottom of the round, what would you like to do? It's your turn.
So I can see the hag now, right?
You can. You can see the hag.
I'm gonna cast polymorph.
All right. This is a saving throw?
Yeah, she needs to make a wisdom save.
All right. Let's see how this goes. What are you changing her into?
A newt. No, a turtle. A small turtle.
You cast your polymorph as soon as you see her, and she lets out this wail, which changes in tone as she begins to shrink down and down and down until where you saw her before, you see a small turtle making the tiniest little noise.
I'm gonna run over and pick her up.
All right. How long does this last? Is it an hour?
1 hour with concentration.
Okay. For 1 hour, this hag has been turned into a turtle.
Yay! Should we try to bring her back to the place? Should we like
Yeah,
get?
but
You are still in combat.
we still have dogs to take care of.
All right.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do in your turn?
Put her in my pocket.
All right. You run over. You grab this little turtle and you stick her in a pocket. Get one of your many layers in your pockets of your tunic. Perfect. All right. We are at the top of the order. Alyssum, what would you like to do?
I think, so can you just paint what the picture of what's happening right in front of me? Am I still like very close to the dog that just attacked me?
You are. So within like breathing distance is this dog. You can feel its pants, the heat coming off on you, and you can smell the sulfur on its breath. Right on the other side of it is Velara, about 5 feet away. And then again, within touching distance is this giant metal hippo and Daisy. And there are 2 other dogs in between them.
Okay. I think I would like to am I allowed to make an action like, you know, like a dagger or something and then do Misty Step? Or is
Misty Step a bonus action?
Misty
I think
Step?
Yeah, usually.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
Okay.
Then yeah, you'd be able to use an action and then Misty Step.
Okay.
As a bonus.
I'm going to take 2 of my daggers at the same time and attack the dog that's right in front of me.
Okay. Do you have a dual wield or a 2 weapon attack? Because that's a feat.
Yes.
Awesome.
I have 2 weapon fighting.
Okay.
So
is that the feat 2 weapon fighting? No. So there's a feat that you have to take. 2 weapon fighting means that you can hold 2 weapons. But a feat allows you to attack with both of them at the same time.
Oh,
so what this means is that if you like Daisy have the ability to attack twice, you can attack with one weapon and then attack with the other.
Okay.
But a feat specifically lets you do it. You can have both of them for flavor text, but you're only going to be able to roll for one.
Okay. Okay. So I'll do 1 roll.
Yeah. Roll to hit.
Oh, of course, it's a natural 1. Well, with that, I'm gonna Misty Step out of there.
All right. So here's what happens on your natural 1. You try to be cool about it, and you try to like underhand your dagger, so you're holding it this way so the point is down, and you go to slam it into the dog's side, but you miss, and
I would never hold a knife like that. I would never hold a dagger like that.
Normally not. And now you've learned. But because you rolled a 1, the weight of your swing carries you forward and it gets embedded in the ground. When you Misty Step, your dagger is still in the ground away from you. You still have the other one. So you're only missing 1 dagger, but you are now Misty Stepped away.
Right.
Anything else you'd like to do? Any bonus actions?
I think that's all I have.
Okay. All right. It is now Rufus's turn. Rufus, what would you like to do?
Well, since everything was planned on the hag, to do anything to these hounds, I have to move in front of everyone to see them, right?
Yeah, so right now what you have is just a small arc of people. You have Velara, the hippo, and Daisy. There's no room there to get in, but you have Alyssum and an opening right there, a 5-foot opening, just enough for one person.
To see them.
You'll have to get closer, move.
I just Misty stepped. I'm not right.
Oh, that's true, that's true. So there's a 10-foot space where, yeah, you could have line of sight on them from where you are.
No. From where I'm standing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you for reminding me.
in that case, I do, if I got closer and I had a cone shape, that I would have to be on the same line as my friends so that I wouldn't hit them, right?
Yeah.
So is it possible to get in the same, to use my movement to get in the same line?
Yeah, you can get right next to Velara if you'd like.
All right. I'm right up, I go up, walk up, waddle, whatever, old man step, right up there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to use burning hands.
All right, burning hands. Now remember earlier, Velara had used fire.
Oh yeah, shit. All right, I'm going to use chromatic orb.
Yes. Okay.
And I have 4-inch diameter, and I wield it, but with the end of my guitar. And I'm going to. So how many are left? All 3.
Yeah.
But can I have it on 2 creatures at a higher level?
Does it say that you can?
No, that sucks. So just 1 creature, but it increases the damage. So I'm going to use it at 3rd level, chromatic orb, and I'm going towards which one? Which one, guy? Which one do I have to hit, y'all? Whichever one is a more direct eye line to me.
Okay, that's going to be the one on your left.
Okay.
The one on the left flank. Go ahead and roll to hit.
And I just roll the. This is so stupid. So when I roll, oh, I'm lucky using luck.
Add your spell attack bonus as well. Your spell attack modifier.
Yeah, it's bad. So I'm going to go again. It wasn't it was a 3.
No,
So
no, you can't. You can only, luck is only for a natural 1.
No, I have a feat. I'm lucky as a feat.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's you can
3
do.
times in 1 long rest. I picked a feat, honey.
Yeah, he's a ragnar. That's right.
Well, that was even worse. Should I keep using lucky?
Whatever you'd like. Time's running out, though.
Using lucky again. Switching dice. Oh, God! I have it one more time. I'm going to use it one more time.
Okay.
One more time. Oh, shit.
So normally in combat, I won't let you use lucky 3 times in a row, but I'm going to let you do it this time, okay?
All right. So I take that, and then I add 6 because my spellcast modifier. So 22.
You hit. Roll your damage.
All right, my damage.
Poor dog.
It's 5d8. Can I even do that? Do I even have 5? Oh, this is going to take a while. Okay. Okay, that's 2. Plus 8.
10.
Oh, I have to 1 more. Plus 4. 14.
All right. And what kind of damage was this?
What were they resistant to? Cold.
That's what.
Again, your ice damage did as much damage as you thought it was going to do. No
It's
more,
not resistant.
no less.
I want to do acid.
All right. You send this disgusting ball dripping this sizzling acid hurled at the dog in front of you. You hit it and it starts to singe its fur with the acid. It yowls in pain, but it is still standing. All right.
My bonus action is what, and I've already used it to do maybe all of my luckies.
All 3 in a row. Yeah, I'm going to say that would take up your bonus action as well.
All right.
All right, Velara, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna keep going with the chromatic orbs.
All righty, send a chromatic orb.
Yes. So, ooh, but that'll be a 12 to hit.
A 12 will not hit, unfortunately. Your spell fizzles in your hand.
Okay. And as my movement, I'm gonna back up into the main cavern on the side. So there should be even more visibility in the doorway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna back up to the side. So I'm hugging the wall, making sure everyone who's in the cavern can have clear line of sight into these dogs.
You can do that by getting about 10 more feet away, so you're 20 feet away from these dogs now.
Okay.
Everyone can see.
Perfect. That's my
All right,
move.
anything else? All right. It is now the dog's turn. All three of them turn and look in between themselves to Daisy, who is the only one left next to them. One of them, the one at the head that still has just a little bit of frostbite on the tip of its nose, rears its head back and it curls its lips, and you see a bead of white hot flame starting to build in its mouth. It opens and sends a gout of flame at you. Make a dex saving throw.
So, wait, I can't use shields? No, I guess that's when someone attacks me. Okay.
Remember,
Well, this is technically an attack. Does shield say something about if it is a melee attack?
It says an invisible barrier of magical force, or one reaction which you take when you are hit by an attack or targeted by a magic missile spell.
Yeah, that specifies magic missile spell, so that tells me that...
Well, it says or targeted by a magic missile spell. When you are hit by an attack or targeted by a magic missile spell.
That's really weird semantics because it specifies a magic missile spell, but it says attack. This is technically a spell. Go ahead and use it though. I'll let you use it on this.
Okay.
But roll your dex first, and we'll see if it even hits.
and also remember you're inspired at any point.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. It's probably still gonna hit because I rolled a 3, which is 5 for my dex, but I'll roll my bardic inspiration anyway. Yeah.
What'd you get?
9.
What's the total?
9 total.
All right. So unfortunately, you are going to be engulfed by this column of flame, but you can use your shield now. If
I'm
you'd
going
like.
to use my shield. I'm going to cast shield as my reaction, which I mean, all it does is add +5 AC to me. But if it was
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
yeah. This doesn't take into account your AC because it's just a save. So unfortunately, your shield does nothing. You all watch as she is engulfed in flame. It totally covers her. This massive column. You're going to take.
I expend a bardic inspiration.
I'm sorry?
I expend a cutting words reaction to your roll.
To my roll? For the damage?
My reaction is cutting words, and it says that I can, when I see a creature with 60 feet making an attack, ability, or damage roll, I can expend 1 use of bardic inspiration, roll the dice, and subtract it from whatever you roll as the creature. It says
Sure.
I can do it after the roll, but before
Yes.
the result.
Yes, so you can do that. Take away from the damage that she is taking. Roll. What dice are you rolling? What are you rolling?
A bardic inspiration is 1d8.
Okay, roll your d8, and you're going to take that away from the damage that she's taking.
So just -3 points.
Okay. You all watch as your friend is engulfed in this tower of flame. Daisy, you're going to take 25 points of damage.
Okay.
And the fire continues. It just continues. As you all watch her in the center of this swirling tower of fire. And on that note, in the middle of combat, we're going to end this episode.
Ooh. Okay, well, let's all tune in next time to see if Daisy survives.
Should we all go around and let everyone know where
She'll
they
say-
can find us, what we're up to.
Erika, you start.
All right, hi, I'm Erika. You can find me everywhere at A Style Pixie. I usually stream on my Twitch at A Style Pixie at 3 p.m. Pacific time on weekdays. You can also find me on There's Walkway Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern.
I am Kim Daugherty. You can find me at Kim Daugherty _. Yeah. Rachel?
Hi, I'm Rachel Seeley. You can find me everywhere. It's Sunny Seeley. I also stream, usually 5 p.m. PST on Mondays when I do Mythology Monday, or Wednesdays or Fridays when I'm doing God knows what. You can also sometimes find me on Blank Slate over at Scabby Rooster when we eventually get to do our live show again and be around other people.
Alice?
Oh,
Is
Alice
maybe
may be
frozen?
Is Frozen?
Helen?
Hi, my name is Kelen Coleman. You can follow me here at Kelen Coleman on most all of the things. I have 3 movies coming out, but I'll just say 2 of them. One is called A Typical Wednesday. It is available for pre-order now where things are available, and Breaking Them Up, which I'm not sure the release date, but it's premiering in a film festival this weekend in Oklahoma. If you live in Oklahoma, you probably know what I'm talking about, because I don't. We'll just go with that for now.
Alice is back, so.
Am I frozen still or no?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'm Alice. You can find me on Instagram at Alice Greczyn, but the last name is Grec, C as in cat, Z as in zebra, Y as in Nancy. I also do a lot of writing at alicegretchen.com. So if you like to read, I usually blog about things like everything from leading religion to travel to all sorts of ideas.
And Allie?
Rad. You can find me at go_NINO, my last name. And right now I have a new single out called Part of You. You can find it all online, Spotify, although I'd rather you buy it on iTunes.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We're here on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So find out what happens to Daisy next time. Thanks so much. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.